No, he's not. He's always took home, but like Bill, Audrey, and like a couple of his coworkers and all that bailed because of COVID. No.
That's a shame. I feel bad. Tell him, should we go there, or like, does he want to come here, or we can go out or something?
I have no idea.
That's a shame.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Hey, at least he doesn't have a reason to get vaccinated anymore. So.
But still say shit.
I know. Oh my god, transmission.
Alright. Let's get it. What's going on, everybody?
You?
Hey, Wes.
Cheers to New Year's, guys.
Yeah, happy
Oh,
New
yeah,
Year's,
I mean,
guys.
cheers to you, Wes.
Yeah, should we?
Cheers to New Year's.
Cheers.
I think that's a
Happy
dollar
New-
store wine glass. So you wanna watch Clang that one.
That's tough.
That's when you know you're struggling.
Yeah. You gotta embrace the struggle. Embrace the grind.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So, it's 2022. About to be. When people see this, it's gonna be 2022. What are your goals going forward? And just in the new year, and what do you guys want to do?
Alright, so you want to go first, Britt? Or I will? Because I will actually.
You go first.
Okay.
So we were kind of already talking about it a little bit in the car earlier, and I was talking about it with Britt a little bit. But my personal goals for 2022, I have two. My main one is to finally give up and quit nicotine. That's a very
good one.
simple one, but it's something that I feel like it's like a catalyst. So when I stop that, I feel like a lot of other things are going to slowly start to be easier.
Yeah.
Because you take care of like one extremely hard thing, and then it's like a domino effect.
Isn't there a word for that when you replace a habit?
Yeah, it's called a keystone habit.
That's it.
I actually learned that in this really good book called The Power of Habit by this dude, author Charles Duhigg. It's a really good book for anyone out there that would want to read it. It's a really powerful habit forming book, and I read it years ago, but now it's like I kind of have to backtrack and go back to that to just get like a fundamental of how to stop a habit like smoking or something, you know.
Yeah.
So that's where all my energy's going, that one. And then my second is just kind of be better with my money, really.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Just like go back and look at where all my money's going and make sure it's not going to things that aren't for me or bettering me, and not just like spending money on stupid shit.
Yeah.
Because I noticed as 2021 was going around, I'm like looking at all my money and I'm like, where's all my money going? And it was going to stuff where I would look at my statement and be like, this is ridiculous. I'm spending $100 on this.
Yeah.
It's just like stupid shit.
Yeah, but what were you actually buying?
A lot of it's really just like supplements.
That's not stupid though.
I mean, it depends on like my goals though, and like what I want to do for my future. In the short term, it's not stupid. Well, even in the long term, it's for my health, but like it doesn't settle with my financial goals.
Yeah.
Because you can do other things to be healthy. You don't need supplements. It's kind of just like a performance booster for me.
Well, some of the things that you take are actually helping you.
They are.
And like
100%.
Like your cholesterol issues that you have right now.
my high LDL cholesterol.
Yeah, we're definitely habitual creatures, so you gotta make sure you're making your habits positive ones and ones that are gonna better your life.
Yeah, yeah.
And something I heard about the money too is like a part of your pay is like for you to keep. Like think about it. I was reading this book, like Richest Man in Babylon or something. It was like you pay everybody but yourself. Think about that. When you go to the store, everything you do, you're paying everybody but yourself. You don't save money and like pay. Like look at like saving money as like paying yourself. And even if you take 1/10 of each paycheck, after a year, you're gonna have a lot more money saved up.
True.
So
Like reinvesting back in yourself.
Yes.
Like almost looking at yourself as like a business or something, right?
Even if it's $1, like
Yeah.
you said, something small. I always do a ikigai whenever I go and purchase something. Do you know what that is?
no.
So it's the Japanese technique of being grateful for your money. It's kind of like a manifestation technique where, so say you're the cashier and I hand you my card with my I hand you the card with my right hand, which is the hand that I'm giving. my money to. And as I'm receiving it back with my left hand, I'll say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, or ikigai, which means thank you in Japanese. So that's something that is little that I have noticed, even saying just a little bit of grace and gratitude for my money. It's helped me.
When do you do this? Like,
whenever I go to buy something.
yeah.
Right, so, yeah, I think it's really helped me.
Because money's just energy, so.
Yeah, your relationship with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And be mindful of it, like, take care of it, and respect it. Because we all blow money, we all know what it's like.
Yeah, you don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Like, I like this shirt. It's $50. Never wear it again.
Yeah.
Being mindful is a key, like you just said.
Yeah. Food is the biggest one, I feel like. Like money, like, we just want a quick grub.
Especially when you're trying to buy like quick, quote unquote, healthier food. That's where like money really starts to go down the drain.
Yeah.
Because like even buying like organic food, it's food prices right now are through the roof for regular food, let alone like organic or sustainably farmed meat or things like that. It's crazy.
I think on groceries alone, we're just spending about like $400 like for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I was talking about that on my last podcast too. And just the
prices?
food deserts and everything and like all that stuff and how people get disenfranchised because they can't afford the food and it's messed up. Our society is so crazy, like just capitalist society.
I feel so bad for the kids that are growing up now.
Yeah.
Through all this, like.
Yeah.
We think we have it bad. Wait in 10 years.
What the kids are gonna be like?
Not even be like, but what they're growing up into.
Yeah.
Like we can barely even afford a house. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no longer $200,000 to buy a house at like a 30-year mortgage. Now the average price on a house is like $400K, like doubled. So I think it's pushing a lot of people to rent more.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
and be on the move and live mobily.
All the banks are trying to buy up all of the apartments and houses so they can run them back to us.
Yeah.
What's the saying? You'll own nothing and be happy.
Yeah.
That's essentially what they're trying to do. Sorry.
Pretty much.
I have to remember to talk into this.
Yeah. It's all good.
You're working your vocals. This kind of works because I can't hear you half the time in our freaking house. Be yelling across the house. What do you say? I'm like, Brett, what'd you say? You're like whispering to me across the house. Hey, Dan, can you like maybe do the dishes? I'm like, what?
That you own nothing and be happy stuff is weird though. Like.
I think Klaus Schwab said that.
It was like the Great Reset or something like that. They literally talk about it like.
Yeah, they say it openly and out in plain sight, so you won't even think anything of it.
Yeah.
But you're consenting to it.
And you're gonna blink and like we're in 2022 going to it, like you're gonna blink and it's gonna be 2030. Like that's like their deadline for that.
That's
like
scary.
By 2030 you'll own nothing and be happy. Like. And really, and I've heard stuff for like 2025 too. Like they have agendas that they want to get in by 2025, and
I heard by 2025 is when there's going to be a split of people that want to go back to their roots and people that want to be controlled by society.
Consumerism.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. I feel like that, and I feel like I kind of have like a ticking time bomb. Like as these next couple of years start coming, like. We gotta like really figure stuff out, like how you're gonna want to live, like self-sustainability, maybe like off-grid living, like just figure out how to survive as a human being on Earth, like without the capitalist society feeding you and like just always consuming and all that stuff.
I feel like these last 2 years have taught me so much on how to be self-sufficient. So I have hope that I think we'll be okay, at least.
Yeah.
You know, now that you say that, I'll add a third goal for my 2022. Because in 2021, me and Britt learned how to garden together and grow our own food. And we did pretty well for our first time. So maybe for 2022, something that I want to do is actually learn how to like wild forage. So learn how to be thrown in the woods and know what to look at. And know what to pick, and know what will kill me, what won't kill me. And there's really like meetup classes and things that you can do like that, where you can just meet up with people and get taught how to forage mushrooms or whatever.
Yeah,
Any
I want to do
plants?
the wild mushroom forage.
So yeah, I like that. It's thank you for bringing it to my mind. Maybe even I'll add like a half a third hunt as well. I want to learn how to hunt.
Yeah, I want to learn how to hunt too. Just like
Hunting and foraging, dude.
all that stuff.
You guys
Because that
have
goes
fun.
back to it, really. Goes back to just learning how to fend for ourselves and
Yeah.
quote unquote live off the grid.
And that's what you were saying earlier. You were like, I just need to be outside. You were saying you could stay inside for a week and be fine. And you can go
Sometimes I
outside.
don't see the sun for like 3-4 days.
Yeah, I get worried. I have to like check on you sometimes.
Yeah.
Make sure that you're still breathing.
Yeah. I need to go outside.
But
Like
yeah,
I need to get my feet in the ground and like
Yeah.
If I had a goal, it definitely would be to be outside more.
yeah.
So what are yours actually? What are your main ones?
Yeah.
See, I don't have goals because I've come to realize that I need to just be present here. I'm always thinking, you brought this up to me the other day, I have something good and I always try to look for the flaws in it and I'm never just settling with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this year, something that is really important for me is just to be in peace with what I have,
Yeah.
where I'm
Powerful.
going. Everything I have in this moment, I need, wait, everything I have in this current moment is for my success. Everything I have, I think that's how it goes, right? Everything in this moment I already have to succeed. That's what it is. Yeah.
Basically saying that you already have everything you need.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
gotta-
Mentally, yeah.
Yeah. Mentally, physically, spiritually. I'm where I am to be right now.
Yeah.
And physically, you could get your strength up a little bit, but.
Okay.
I think about that too, though. Just like goals and productivity. It's all that.
I just
I sound like a commie, but I'm not. I'm really not. Like I don't hate capitalism, but there's some things I don't like
see
about
mine.
it. Like,
Yeah.
but that capitalist society is like, oh, you gotta.
It brainwashes you
You
into
gotta
thinking like you have
do the
to.
next thing. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep going. You gotta get your bachelor's, master's.
Yeah.
Keep going. You gotta be the intern. Get your job. Work your way up. Like
Get that
the
suit
rat
and tie,
race.
baby.
Yeah.
Fuck
Get
that
that suit
shit.
and tie.
Fuck that.
You want to really go back to living slow? Go to Maine. When we went to Maine a couple years ago, the way they live up there, it's crazy, dude. Like Maine, out of every state in the United States, they have the oldest average population.
They're more Canadian than they are American. That's why.
Pretty much. Everyone up there's nice. Everyone's old.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds boring. Like just a bunch of old people that are nice to, but they live very slow.
Yeah.
Like it's not like we're all on top of each other in Jersey. Maine's like just a lot of spread out land.
I feel like anywhere that's not on the east or west coast pretty much is like that.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot slower.
Yeah, just like Jersey and Cali, and those two are like pretty much the go-go capitals of the United States. I mean,
And New
you could
York.
say New York, yeah, actually. New York over Jersey, actually.
Yeah.
I liked Arizona a lot when I was there this year. It was just like good ass vibe. And
You went to
Colorado.
Sedona, right?
What's up?
Did you went to Sedona?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, man, I'm jealous.
The New Age. There's a bunch of New Age shit there. It was like, yeah.
Yeah, they talk about vortexes and all that.
Yeah.
You could knock on a red rock and hear your ancestors. Listen close enough.
I definitely felt the energy there. I was like grounded
yeah.
there. Like, you think you feel the Earth's energy like in nature here? Like the energy out there is like way stronger. I really feel it. Like
Yeah.
it's way more spiritual out there. Like there's some. I think there's just something about the Earth like out there that's just special about there.
I'm pretty sure they found skeleton remains of giants in Arizona before. Like tons.
Yeah.
I just got you onto that.
We won't go down the giant rabbit hole, but
We can go down the giant rabbit hole. I mean, where does the story come from?
There's
Like,
that's where
actually-
Brit steps in and I step out.
In every single culture, you find a tale about giants. In Ireland, it's the Phoenicians. In the Bible, it's the Nephilim. In Samaria, it's the Anunnaki. There's one more that I can't really think of, but
What
essentially,
about the Atlanteans? Isn't that one?
no, they were more like a race that were like technically more advanced than us.
Well, I
They
think
were
about
just
like an
like-
Atlantis like person or like a god, and it's just like some dude who's like 10 feet tall, long beard, long hair.
What's his name? Neptune or something like that?
Yeah, that's what I'm
SpongeBob?
thinking of. Yeah, wait, I'm thinking of SpongeBob.
Is that what? Yeah.
I mean, like,
I didn't even pick that up.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but.
like
I remember they went to Atlantis in SpongeBob, right? You saw that?
Yeah.
I did. See, look, they tell the truth
Yeah.
in movies,
In the cartoons.
in TV
and stuff.
shows. I'm
Well,
telling you.
SpongeBob, they do that with everything.
Yeah.
Well, there's an actual gene that connects Black Irish people and Middle Eastern to taller beings. It's called the giganticism gene.
Yeah.
And people that have that gene are like huge, tall.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the one guy that was a Freemason.
Or maybe just the Middle Eastern, they eventually got together and bonded with Irish,
No, they are
standard Irish like me,
crazy Irish.
and then that's when Black Irish came about. Like, because Black Irish are just dark hair, dark eyes, still pale skin, but like that's not normal. If you go strictly to Ireland, most of the people have blonde hair and either blue or green eyes, so.
Okay, but the other half have black hair and blue eyes.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
that could have been.
Carry the gene for gigantism and is connected to the Middle East.
Hey, look, I don't know.
So-
I don't freaking know.
Yeah. But I'm on the wavelength of like, where do the ideas come from? Like, if they tell a story with something, like it has to come from somewhere. Like, same with like, I don't know. Like, why did they tell us that like Christopher Columbus like thought the Earth was flat, but apparently like he didn't think the Earth was flat. Like they knew by then the Earth wasn't flat.
Who
Like,
said
where does
that?
that come from?
You
I don't know.
just
I was taught in school that Christopher Columbus thought the Earth was flat, and I know there's definitely people listening to that were also taught that.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I
They
never
told
heard
us
I've
that.
Christopher
never heard
Columbus like thought the Earth was flat, and like that's why he called like the Native Americans Indians, because he thought like, I don't know, like I think he thought the Earth. I don't know. I think he thought like the Earth was flat, so like you could like go in like a circle on the disc. I don't know. That's what they told, but he didn't think that. They taught us that. I just don't get it, and like that makes me like I don't know. It makes me think. something
Part of
about
me,
it.
yeah.
So it's
part
like
of
something
me,
like they tried hiding it almost. Like he knew.
I don't
what
know
was
why
right,
they
but-
taught us that if that wasn't true. And like, there's so much shit we're taught in schools that like aren't true, and it just makes you question like, what's the truth? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
all the
everything.
history books.
All the history books, like we're lied to, and then people get mad at you for questioning anything. Like we're lied to
Yeah.
so much. Like
They're like, how dare you
Yeah.
to conform?
yeah, or like these companies that have such bad track records and stuff, and then you question them. They're like, what do you like? They
Don't question us.
Yeah. We're perfect. We're the ones saving everybody. Nah, you just get sued every other week. Like,
We got into that last night because I've been on this kick about Elon and what he's doing. I personally love what Elon's doing. Britt thinks he's an elite who's
No.
trying to take over the world, but if you truly like study him,
I have.
no, we talked about this. I don't think what he's doing at his heart is. I don't think he's truly trying to take over the world. I think maybe he's going to come up with a technology where someone's going to take what he's doing and do something bad with it. But I don't think Elon is the reason why certain people are thinking bad things about AI and
The
Neuralink.
same way that I look at Einstein, I look at Elon. I just feel like he's somebody that has stolen somebody else's research and is not using it for the best of intentions. Not saying he's a bad guy.
Whose research did he steal though?
Tesla?
That's his company.
Okay, but everything that he has worked on is Tesla's findings.
Well, that's why he named the company Tesla, because he's respecting Nikola
he didn't
Tesla.
even start Tesla.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
He's a co-founder. Him and another guy did.
Nah, he didn't start it. 2 other guys started it, and he bought it from them, and he changed the history of the company to
And
say
he
that
was-
he
Oh.
started it.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
And he said like they would get the Tesla Roadster or something like that, and then like he sent it to space or something like that. I forget.
What, the car?
Yeah.
He sent to space?
But like if you look at the pictures, it looks fake. Like the pictures look fake. And then he said it looks so real, or it looks so fake, it's got to be real. But that's fucking like doublethink speech. Like it
Yeah.
looks so fake, it's got to be real. Like he's like, that's how you know it's real, because it looks so fake.
Do you believe we've been to the moon?
I think we could have. Like, I don't think that's. I think space. Like, I don't know what I think about space because
Yeah, I'm kind of.
a part of me like questions like because I see pictures like that and I'm like, is this shit fucking like what?
CGI.
Yeah, I'm like, are they just is this some CGI? And like it literally is CGI. Like you look at pictures of the Milky Way galaxy, like they're CGI. Like all of it's CGI. But where would we even go?
We were talking about Elon.
Talking about Elon,
Yeah.
that boy, that bad boy
The
Elon.
But
only
yeah,
problem
I
I
also
have
think-
with him is this Neuralink thing.
Yeah.
That like he brought up that he might create something that might fall in the wrong hands. Having a hive mind technology like that, where you could push a button and everyone just goes blank, goes into a zombie and becomes a slave, that concerns me a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I'm over here thinking.
I was thinking like I also think like space is way bigger. Like they talk about like the Galactic Federation and shit. Like so like I think there's like the universe is way bigger than we think at the same time. So like I don't try to like so maybe they like fake pictures or something. I don't know. Like,
It's like why would they? I don't know. Cause I feel the same. It's like why would they fake it if it was true? Cause obviously there's a space out there.
yeah,
We're not
you
the
can
only
see
ones here.
Yeah.
There's other humanoids.
Aliens gotta be real.
Yeah.
That's one thing I will agree on. I think aliens are definitely out there.
Yeah.
But no, so Elon, what his deal with Neuralink is, and trying to get to Mars, because he's crazy about going to Mars, is that he thinks that everything on Earth has some type of limit to it. Like even the resources, which is true to an extent. So he's looking way into the future to where he thinks that the Earth, we might go through another extinction, which is possible. Look what happened with the dinosaurs.
Do you know how many
It's very
times-
unlikely.
But do you know how many times that there has been a cataclysm on Earth?
Yeah,
At
a
least
bunch.
5.
Yeah.
At least 5. So, who's to say that you're not messing with God? Playing God?
Who's to say that God's real?
Okay, yes. But I just mean hypothetically, like, that's messing with the natural law of things.
Yeah, the law of nature. You're essentially changing it. But you could say that Mars is nature. It is. It's just a different rock floating.
Yeah, I think about that a lot, like what we're meant to do. Because I go like, oh, we're never meant to live these office lives. Like we're not meant to live these office lives and all
Hell no,
stuff like
dude.
that. But at the same time, we're here and we're doing it. So technically, are we meant to be doing it?
That's true. That's
So,
very
like,
true.
Are we meant to go to Mars? Are we meant to, do all this stuff? Like, so many questions. I think, I don't know. So I think it's a balance of like following like what God would want, and not even God, not like God's a person. Like follow what the divine energy created. Like follow that order, like that law of nature, like you were saying. Like not like follow daddy's orders or some shit.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But yeah, so just like stick with like your roots and like your like I don't know.
Well, I mean, even with us going to Mars, it's just a billionaire's joyride to get out of this place that they have destroyed.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it, anyway.
Isn't that kind of opposite of what Tesla's about, though? So they're clean, green energy electric cars.
Listen, the power of
You
a
think
good
he wants to
brand.
destroy the planet when his whole premise and the reason for his company is the...
But why is he escaping when he could take the billions of dollars that he has invested into space travel back into the Amazon?
Well, he did do that. He put, I forget how much money, it was a crazy amount, like a couple billion with a B, into poverty and like third world countries who don't have food, which is kind of, I don't really know if I agree with that. You could honestly do something better with it, like maybe build infrastructure in that country and a market to where then they could get their own food into that market, but whatever, that's beside the point. But I don't think Elon is a bad person. I don't.
He's not a bad person. I just think that
There's so much that's like all talk,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like us, we're just like shit talking right now. Like who? And I was thinking about that the other day. Like it's like so hard to like do it. Like one person can't just
Oh, yeah, you
influence
can't.
the whole
Yeah.
No, yeah.
country economy. Like and,
No.
I mean they can at the same time, but like they can't control like everything and like do everything. solve all the problems.
Yeah.
And I think if you truly try to solve all the world's problems and like end the corruption and do all that stuff, like the people and like systems that are corrupt, like will literally like
It'll destroy you.
try to take you out. Like,
Yeah.
deplatform you, or even
See, that's a
Take
real
your
good
life.
indicator.
For real.
Knowing,
the
Yeah.
mafia. That's
No,
what that is.
seriously.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
if you're actually
Straight
trying to do the good thing and they're trying to silence you, that's how you know that you're on the right track. But if you're just someone on a platform talking about, like, I don't know, think of some celebrity like Ariana Grande talking about wokeness and all that.
I don't like her. She messed with my boy Mac.
But
she
like
broke Mac Miller's
someone
heart,
like
guys.
that, she can say whatever she wants because it's following an agenda of what they want her to say.
About wokeness, like what's her wokeness?
I don't know. I just used her as an example.
Yeah.
I just mean for
She's
instance.
interesting. She
the
talks
whole-
about like manifestation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I saw a video and it was like these like
She's definitely gorgeous.
it was like paparazzi talking to Chris Rock, and they were like, "What do you think? Is Beyonce doing witchcraft or doing something?"
Who said that to her?
They said it to Chris Rock. They
Oh.
said like, "What do you think about Beyonce reportedly doing witchcraft?" And he just like covered his mouth like really weird, just like went like.
Are you serious?
And, like,
He didn't
say-
even
and,
respond to
like,
anything?
No, it was like a really creepy video.
That's
And, like,
creepy.
Obviously, she's doing witchcraft. Like everyone's casting
She
spells.
dresses
and
up as like Hathor, which is an Egyptian goddess, like all the time. So.
magic. Like when you write something is magic. Like so like everyone's doing it, but I do think she could be consciously aware of like what she's doing.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
Same with Jay-Z, and like they're just into the esoteric. They're into a lot of people are into that spiritual stuff. Like
Jay-Z is a prime example of putting your manifestations into reality.
yeah,
Like everything that he talks about and what he's been through and is done, I mean, he's probably a prime example of coming from nothing to being a multi-billionaire. He sacrificed everything in doing it, but I mean, you could call Jay-Z satanic, but I call him a hustler.
what a quote! You can call Jay-Z satanic. I call him a hustler.
He could be both. A
Definitely.
satanic hustler.
Yeah.
I don't think he's satanic.
No, he's definitely in some sort of a mystery cult though. I just can't figure it out what.
Freemasonry, probably.
Yeah.
The Illuminati.
Illuminated. Yeah. What do you think that? What does that mean? That symbolism. What do you think that means?
What, the Freemason one?
Just
Or
the one eye. Well,
The eye?
there's a bunch.
Well, the eye is
The
because
all-seeing eye.
yeah, they're God. They pray to Ra, which is where the eye comes from. The all-seeing eye, the eye of Ra. The symbolism actually is for the pineal gland. If you cut the brain in half, it'll show the eye into the pineal gland. It's really cool. You can look it up actually and see
like
it.
the pineal gland is like.
It's the actual
that-
eye.
So like your eye, like
Yeah, and then it has the structure around it, and it actually
that's
looks
like
like
the
an
third eye too. Like
Yeah, it's crazy.
in comparison to, maybe you knew this, maybe you didn't, the pineal gland is the same exact size of a green pea. Very tiny. And it's located right at the top of your brain stem, kind of like you just said. In like the middle of everything. So it's another question. Why is it hidden so deep in your brain?
Yeah, I've heard it
Trying to
called
be
the first
protected.
eye before too.
The first eye?
Yeah, like it developed.
never heard
like
of
it
that.
developed apparently before your two eyes. So like.
Actually, I couldn't believe that because remember that science or the sleep study podcast that we listened to where our waking state was actually asleep.
Oh, yeah. It's like try to flip it.
Yeah.
Like look at like your dreams as the real reality.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, well-
powerful.
Well, we listened to a podcast where this guy found evidence that our first state of being was asleep.
Damn.
So like our
Yeah.
wake state actually who's to say that this isn't the illusion for sure.
Yeah.
It's
I definitely
crazy.
think this is the illusion. This isn't what it really is. This is like the dumbed down version. or the 3D version or anything. Like, it's like crazy.
Well, you take enough shrooms, it will definitely take the filter off your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
Like your brain is a filter to another dimension. You do something to it, and then I don't know, your brain's not there anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like you see,
Yeah. Like our
not even
senses-
visually, just like
You
your
feel
mental
it.
state
Yeah,
is
you-
somewhere else.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, and words can't even describe it. And it can be like dark and like you just like feel like you're like so much more than like you are. Like,
Yeah, like an interconnectedness to
Yeah.
everything.
yeah. Especially if you're with people too, like you can feel the connection like with people and
Right.
like realize like we're all like one. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy.
The illusion of self just completely like dissipates.
Yeah.
It's like you're me, you're me, you're me.
The stables, you just
Yeah.
I
likes
think
me.
like the biggest like breakthrough for me the one time that we tripped was like it sounds crazy but not even realizing that I was my body, but that really is the goal of being non-dual or non-duality. Like I was literally like looking through my eyes like almost like a tunnel, but like I would look at my body and I'd be like, what the hell? Like this is my body? And then like I would look back up and it was very weird. Like it's almost that third person view where like you're looking down at your body.
Yeah.
And that's like that settled with me for like 2 hours straight, and ever since like finally realizing that, it really changed my perspective on everything.
Isn't that a phenomenon?
Phenomenon?
Yeah. Where it's like your head or something.
Oh, it's called being headless.
Yeah.
So it's just like looking at the world through a lens of being headless. So right now if you're looking
Like
at something,
disassociating.
yeah, like you, in reality, where you're looking at right now, your head is where the world is. Because you can't see your face, you can't see your head. And the second you try to look back at your head or your face, you realize that where your head is, it's really just the world and the universe. It's you have to practice on it, but
Wait, explain that one more time.
so there's a book on it too called The Headless Way.
Yeah.
So like a lot of contemplative practices, like a lot of like Buddhist monks and people who teach non-duality mindfulness. So if you're being mindful and you're meditating or something, you can do it with your eyes open or closed. You'll soon realize that there is no difference between your experience, like what you're experiencing internally, and what you're seeing out in the world. It's all just consciousness. It's a different form of like sensory input or experiencing. Like
I realize it.
I mean, if your eyes are closed right now or they're open, there is no disconnect. It might feel like there is, but there really is not. It's just another sensory coming in, your vision. You close your eyes and then you just cancel out that sensory input. So now you have like hearing, taste, smell, all that stuff. But
isn't it just going into like an observer state essentially?
yeah, like an objective view, not subjective.
Yeah.
To where you feel like everything's happening to you.
Yeah.
Once you detach and become objective, you're kind of looking at, you don't even have an identity, really.
Like, that voice in your head like doesn't control you. Like you can like take a step back from the voice in your head too, and like realize like you're not actually that voice in your head. That voice in your head is just like a lower part of you, honestly, and like
For real, yeah.
yourself can like look at that.
Have you ever sat with yourself and just listened to the voice in your head? Do you
Yeah.
think it sounds like you?
Oh yeah, you asked me that before.
Wait, you don't think it sounds like you?
No, actually, when I sit and I listen, it actually sounds like a younger version of me, which makes me think that I still have a lot of like trauma work around that time period.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I definitely feel like sometimes like I can access my inner child and I can be like, just like right now, say we're in the situation, we have these mics, laptop, camera, like amazing camera, like if I can ask myself, what would my inner child like think of this right now? And maybe like right now I'm like we just set this up and like it's just like a normal thing, but maybe my inner child would be like, holy shit, this is so cool. Like
This
I
is
can
so much
still
fun.
yeah, I can still access like that part of me. Like I just like, even with everything I'm doing right now, I just like ask myself like what my inner child would think, and be like making videos and just like living the life I want to live. Like this is like I would think it's so cool, like, you know. So
I think what you said is the key to life. Really, is staying curious.
Mhm.
Once you lose curiosity, it's really when you lose the reason for living, or the whole reason for being alive.
Yeah. And you said, like that. So the curiosity leads to the questioning. Like once you stop questioning, like that's when your life gets like really dull, and like you just become like a sheep.
Content, which is scary.
Comfortability.
Because there is like a gray area too. Like you, in a way, you do need to be content. You can't always switch everything because then you're never going to settle into a routine that works for you. But then again, it's like you step too far,
or
you
even
become
like
too
the people
content.
that go too conspiracy and like can't just admit there's like corruption and stuff. They have to go like super far. Like, and then it gets like, and they're like, is it a conspiracy that they're pushing this conspiracy? I mean, maybe there's sometimes is that. Like, but like it goes too deep. Like sometimes you can go too deep with it, and like
it's like a mind fuck sometimes. I caught myself doing that actually. Like in the midst of how deep I was questioning every single thing.
Yeah.
Like, is this true? Is this not? Skeptical.
And I think that's a part of your awakening, because once you start to realize you're lied to, then you go, fuck, are they lying about everything? But like you gotta, so like that is a stage where you just question everything. But like eventually you gotta kind of, and like you have to accept that you really never will know everything.
Yeah.
So. But a mindfuck for me was going back to what we were just talking about, like with your senses, like, and like how it's like in your head and like the headless thing. Like I realized like one day I was just like, it's like in September, I was just like looking around, and I realized like everything I'm seeing is just like in my head. Like I realized that like the lights coming in, the sounds coming in, like all the magic is happening like in my head. Like everything, you think it's outside of you, but really everything is like wavelengths and shit like going in your head, and like
that's a really powerful realization, especially for how young you are, dude. I mean, stick with that and stay with it. Don't let that go, and that'll take you far.
And then that just shows you like everything is the mind. Like everything's like within you. Like all your thoughts, everything you do, like you have the power within you. Like
there's a study that I saw where you only can take in so much stimuli where. Kind of wild to think about that what you're seeing was divinely meant for you. Like you will be able to see something else that might be a different hue of a color than me, but we're seeing the same exact thing, which is crazy.
And definitely like there's people that are colorblind and stuff. Like
that's what I was just gonna say. That could be something biologically wrong with someone if you can't see the same color.
No, it's
not even that, but just the fact that we can see different. We see different things.
Yeah.
Oh, like the way we perceive something. Yeah.
And like how do we all know like we're all seeing the same color right now? Because like we definitely know that people, you can do colorblind tests. Like we know that people see different colors. So
yeah.
What color is that to you?
That's like blue purple.
I would like a violet.
Okay, yeah, that's what I see too.
You see violet?
Yeah.
But like,
what do you see what?
How do we know like we didn't all just agree to call that color that, but we all see different colors? But we all think that color is violet, right?
Or like my opinion could have just persuaded yours.
That's true.
And then since two people agree on it, now you might say, oh, I see violet too.
They do tests like that, like psychology, like.
Isn't that actually another study where they took these like molecules and bounced them off a wall, and then they took someone observing and it affected the results?
And then that's like is it a simulation or something?
Affected the simulation results.
I know about that. Like when you observed, like when the particle, it's like some with particles and stuff, and like when they just shot it and everyone was there, something happened, and then when someone actually watched it happen, like something different
completely
happened.
Different, yeah.
So it's like there's some effect that we have, like, and you think it's, and the way I thought about it was like when you're in a video game and you like something's not loaded up, and then you walk to that part and then it loads up, like that's like the universe.
Oh, that's a good way to put it. I like that.
Yeah.
That's funny. I remember that, like, old-fashioned Call of Duty glitches. You remember that? You would get on, like, a glitch, and then everything would be super pixelated, and you're, like, just guys just lagging around like this.
Or even like Minecraft or
That's
something.
actually
You're
like
walking around in Minecraft and it just starts loading up.
That's what it would look like, yeah.
Crazy.
this is a video game.
Alright, so let's get back on
Yes.
track. So, Britt, you gave us one, well, it wasn't a goal, but you gave us...
I said I don't have any goals. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm not putting any pressure on myself to lose 10 pounds or get a new car or I want to focus on things that are foundational for me that I can build upon, because 2022 is the year of the master builder. So that's what I will be focusing on, how to build myself up better. Isn't that the liberal slogan? Build back better.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna be doing.
That's what Biden said, right?
BBB.
Yeah.
The big baller.
No, it's like Build Back Better is like 666. Like
Yeah.
the B's are the 6.
Oh, that's kind of creepy. I didn't know that,
My
really.
name starts with a B.
So you just reverse
so
it
I
and
must be Satan.
You could be. Some of the shit you said.
The
before.
Build Back Better is definitely an agenda for the New World Order, like, in quotes, like for this new age they want to lead us into where they control shit more. And because the vaccine cards are just the implementation. It's not about vaccines, it's not about health, it's not about safety, it's just for that implementation of control, and it's going to lead to the social credit scores. And if you don't have this, you can't go here and all that stuff. Like, it's not about vaccines. That's why we all have to realize and see where this is going and like see the agendas at play.
Didn't we talk about that or touch on it last time? China's doing that right now, the social credit score.
They've been doing that.
Yeah, but like it's making its way over here now.
Yeah.
And now I just saw that Daily Mail posted something about them putting the vaccine into a microchip.
Yeah.
Which I've literally, you and I have
They were gonna
literally
put. Yeah.
been waiting for this.
Jeez.
I don't think they're putting the vaccine in the microchip. I think they're putting
The pass thing.
your vaccine data, like your medical data, in the microchip, and then it's gonna, like, what the fuck, like,
Yeah.
what world are we in that we need that? Where we have these phones and stuff, like you can pull, like, not even that we should have it at all, but you can pull it out. Like, why would you need an implant
That's what you just said, Tim.
to show what the Neuralink?
We just had the same conversation last night. He's like, why are you so scared of a microchip when your phone does the same exact thing? But the only difference is that I can remove my phone. I can't take that out of my brain.
You think you can.
What
But
do
the
you
second
mean?
the second you put your phone away or put it in an airplane, your thoughts and your brain is gonna go straight towards that phone.
That's not true,
'Cause it
because
wants
if I really was serious about getting rid of my phone and the addiction to it, I would be able to. What
Well,
about
there you
you
go.
with your nicotine thing?
Exactly.
Okay, but you can't take out an implant from your brain.
I mean, give me a scalpel and give me an
Did
area
you
to
ever
do
see that
surgery.
I feel like I've talked about it like 3 podcasts in a row, but that Black Mirror episode where the dude has the contact lens, but it's like implanted in your brain.
Oh, the memory one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he literally fucking cuts it out of his head.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking about, actually.
Yeah. So,
That shit.
the Black Mirror stuff is scary because it's so accurate.
It is. Let's go. I'll loop back around to you. So, what are your? You don't even have to say goals, but what do you want to better yourself in? Who do you want to be at the end? So, today, next year, who do you want to be?
I like that, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I really just like want to be like more, just be more spiritually enlightened overall. Like a year from now, like spirituality is definitely something really important to me, and like, so I just want to stay learning and just stay curious and just like go within myself and like go within my own like spirituality and like discover everything like for myself. But I definitely want to keep building a foundation just with the podcast and like everything I'm doing with Wesley Andrews Productions, and might as well just on social media, just growing a community and just building that foundation like for the future.
I see that for you.
But I also,
That's awesome, man.
like I said earlier, like then that comes with the spiritual enlightenment, like just being present and just realizing like the goals and everything, like I've written down like more goals that I'm not gonna like just talk about on here, but like where I've written down like specific things I want, like this corny new this and that, and like. But I also realized like if I don't achieve that, like not even going in with that mindset, but like if it, I don't have expectations that everything has to work out perfectly, but I just like wrote down stuff just to have an idea where I'm going. Like I have a direction, like where I want to go. But
that's a good way to put it. Like if something doesn't happen, you're not gonna kill yourself over, or beat yourself up over. Yeah.
But I definitely do have a direction, like where I see myself, like. But that's crazy to imagine a year from now. Something I've more thought exercise I've been doing is seeing where I was a year ago today to now and how much has opened up. So I think about like where I don't even like, it's almost like I can't really even envision where I'm gonna be, because it's like it's gonna be bigger than I imagined. Just like how much the world's expanded in the last year, it's gonna expand so much in the next year, and it's gonna be crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I like the way you think about that. Like who you were a year ago, like not who you're gonna be in a year.
Well, it's like I've already grown so much from last year, so I can only imagine a year from now, like the growth is just gonna continue, like, and be crazy.
It always does.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the reflection thing we were just talking about too. Like just like now's New Year's, really, it could be a time for reflection, or to look at how far you've come instead of look at how far you're going, and kind of just sit and settle with, who you are and what you've been through.
That presence, and just not worry about the past or future. Just be like, I'm grateful to be here now and how far I've come. And that's another thing. Inner child thought, if your inner child where you were when you were like 6 years old saw where you're at right now, they'd be like, holy shit, you've come so far.
Yep.
Like you're a rock star. Like think like when you're 6 years old, you want to do all these things, like drive a car. Like there's so many things that are just like
it's like the world is your oyster.
Yeah.
And then you get to a certain point and that kind of light to it just fades.
Yeah. Because you take it for granted almost. Like how many times do you get in your car and you just drive somewhere and then you get to a point where you're like, holy shit, I don't even remember doing this because I'm just so in like
oh my god, all the time. Yeah.
But the first time you ever got to drive a car, you were probably like super excited, or like when you got your license, you were like hyped. Like, so you just gotta remember that inner child, like when you. And then there was a time when you were probably like a little kid and couldn't drive and you wanted to, and maybe you were in like a little
Barbie
toy car, or something. And we're just imagining you could drive a real car.
It's like you could rewind that and think about like when you're learning how to ride a bike too, like on the training wheels. I mean, you could go way back.
Yeah.
And like how excited you are to ride a bike, and it's like, all right, I got this mastered. Now I'm gonna go drive a car.
Yeah.
Some people are like, I'm gonna go fly a freaking space shuttle.
Yeah.
You could go anywhere.
Yeah. Think about that, like,
It's finding joy in the little things.
Yeah.
So this cool quote, I want to actually start following this kind of mindset.